You never fell in love with a person. Schopenhauer's uncomfortable truth: you have not fallen in love with an individual. You were in love with an image. Something like the way you wanted them to be. Constructed of your past, your injuries, your particular form of desire, which went right over the head of a real human being who never dreamed he was trying out to play the part. During some time they played it very well. Then they stopped. Not that they changed, since you had at last seen them clearly enough to see the gap. That was disappointment you called. Schopenhauer referred to it as reality coming. This is the working of all the relationships that have ever perplexed you. The will has a single agenda to people, not your happiness, not your growth. Not a thing true and enduring. Continuation. The species, which language is the language of the soul, lives. When you are attracted to a person strongly, unexplainably the will is making a calculation of which you are not aware. Genetic compatibility, biological assessment. 1,000 variables that would not make any difference whether this individual will be nice to you on a hard Tuesday. And this is never offered as biology by the will. It puts it across as fate. It is actually so. It was never said by Schopenhauer not to be. He simply told me it is not what you think it is about. It is not an unpleasant fact that love is not real. The will has to say that it is the love that comes first, the all-consuming, ultimately present feeling of initial connection, compelling, beautifully constructed, and temporary of nature. It was not destined to be. It was supposed to be so. And as soon as the intensity dies away, when the individual turns familiar instead of magnetic, most people understand this to be failure. They chose wrong. Love is away, with someone else. So they leave, or remain and years attempt to reclaim a sentiment which was never intended to be lasting. Or get some other and experience it again, momentarily, till that wears away too. The will is indifferent to all such options. It is pleased to rerun the program. What Schopenhauer recognized, and herein lies that which is in fact of importance, the one thing that is left behind by most people to discover, is the only kind of love that is truly real. The next thing that follows the projection encounters the person. Once the biological urgency has passed, when two real human beings are left standing without the story they were taken there. It is the initial moment of sincere contact, a moment that most people feel as loss. The first moment the choice to be with someone is not being made by the will, picking someone you can see. One of whom you now know his constraints, one who has beheld thy own, and remaining not because the emotion forces you to, but because the very individual is worthy the decision. It is not the love the will sells. It is quieter, less photogenic. It is not a sense of fate. It is like a choice made repeatedly, on ordinary days, one more thing. The majority of the loneliness within a relationship, the sense of being in the presence of a person, and not being able to contact him/her, is not his/her failure. The difference between the image you put across and the image present is the gap. They are absent, and you are not alone. The reason why you are lonely is that you are still in mourning over the projection. The loneliness is not resolved when they are more of what you needed, but when you are free of what you needed to have them, and when you are free of what you needed to have them be, and when you are free to be what they are. The release is like loss, but there on the other side of it an actual person, present, real, flawed as you are now aware. And the silent, unsensational merits of being recognized, not by the one you needed, but by the one who remained. Relationships get real when they cease to feel like the answer. Become a subscriber to Schopenhauer Lens, since clarity is its own peace.